Debbie here. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back, and welcome to the next instalment in Debbie Does December. So if you're not aware, I'm uploading every other day in December, so all the odd days of the month. Quite a lot of the videos have been collabs, and this one is no exception. So super excited for this one because it's a collab with my friend Annette from Annette's Makeup Corner, and we're going to be talking about all the brands that we want to try in 2021. So if you want to hear my thoughts on brands that I've not yet tried but that I want to try next year, then please keep on watching. Okay, so before I jump into the brands that I want to try in 2021, I just want to say a few things about my collaborator Annette. So most of you, if you're following me, came from Annette's channel, I think. So I doubt that there's many of you that watch me that don't know of Annette. But if by some random chance there is somebody, why would you want to follow Annette? Well, Annette has got the most colourful makeup aesthetic. She's so creative. She's got bright colourful hair, bright colourful makeup, but her looks are always incredible. She puts colour combinations together on her eyes that you just wouldn't think to do, but they always look amazing. She's a review channel, so she tests lots of new makeup, particularly indie brand makeup, which if you guys are from my channel will know how much we are similar in that regard. Both of us love our indie makeup. So that's one reason. Another reason that I love Annette is that you might know I wouldn't probably have a channel if it wasn't for Annette. So those of you that have been following me for a while will know I was umming and ahhing whether I would have the confidence to start a channel. And Annette's encouragement and support is what kind of pushed me to do it and has kept me continuing to do it, you know, throughout the time that I've done it, which has been about 2 years. And her channel has grown incredibly in that time, and mine is still very micro, but that doesn't matter to Annette. You know, she will still collab with me, which I think is just so nice of her. So Annette, thank you for that, for always being there and supporting me and just being an amazing friend. So if you're not subscribed to Annette, probably just stop this video now and go and do it, because you're missing out if you don't and you love colourful makeup. But without further ado, I'm going to get into the brands I want to try in 2021. Now, I know Annette is going to be covering the brands that she was going to try in 2020, and did she try them? Well, I didn't do a video like that, so that's a little bit difficult for me. But in my mind, I had a few brands I wanted to try. So looking back on 2020, there was 3 brands that I tried that kind of were in my mind that I wanted to. One was Mcgrath Labs, and when I got to 1,000 subscribers, I treated myself to one of the Mothership palettes, the Subversive one, the Mothership 3. And I've also bought the 3 Celestial Quads as well that came out for holiday 2020. Also, I wanted to try Hourglass, and I bought one of their palettes that come out for the holidays. Absolutely love that. And I wanted to try Peachy Queen, and I have bought 3 Peachy Queen palettes now, and I've been really impressed with those. So they're the only ones that I had in my mind to try that I actually have tried. As we go through the list, there's some that I wanted to try and I still haven't, and I'll talk about that in a moment. And one that comes to mind first of all is Give Me Glow. I've wanted to try Give Me Glow Cosmetics for the longest time, even before I had my channel, and in particular the Christmas Morning palette, because I love red eyeshadow and I love green eyeshadow and I love Christmas. But every time that palette would be available, I either didn't have the cash, because it's pretty expensive to import American makeup. I'm from the UK, so for it to come from the US, shipping and customs, I always have to consider that, you know, and that's going to be a little bit of a running theme of why I haven't tried some of these things. But the stars aligned this year. I decided it was Black Friday. They had quite a good deal on the palettes. I had the money to get it, so I have actually ordered the Christmas Morning palette. Ordered it on Black Friday. It's not here yet as I film this on the 14th of December, but I will definitely be trying it in 2021. Probably won't get around to trying it before that because my filming schedule is full, but I'm very excited to finally be getting that palette. The other one that I want from Give Me Glow but I haven't bought is the Vintage Rose. I think that's just such a beautiful colour story. The pinks and greens together are just gorgeous. and the Juicy Olive looks beautiful, and the Grunge palette. So if money was no object, then I'd definitely have ordered more from Gimme Glow, but I'm so excited to have the one I want the most, because 2021 for me is going to be being a bit more selective about what my purchases are. I've bought over 100 eyeshadow palettes in 2020, which is just ridiculous really. And so I need to kind of tone it back a bit. So those purchases have got to be things I've had on my list for a long time, or that are going to add something to my collection, if that makes sense. But I'd say Gimme Glow was top of the list, and I'm definitely going to be trying them. Another one that I've wanted for a long time, and I just don't really know why I've not pulled the trigger, other than the whole shipping and import tax thing, is Black Moon Cosmetics. Now, I've got a little bit of a goth makeup aesthetic. I love dark lips or unusual coloured lips, grungy kind of tones. So Black Moon, I feel, is the brand that's kind of made for me. And I've always wanted to try the Orb of Light palette, although it is a neutral palette, and I do wear some neutrals with colour. I wouldn't really wear neutrals completely on their own, but there's just something about that palette, the shape of it, the packaging. I don't know, there's just something about it that makes me want it. And also they've got another one in that shape called the Black Metals, and I've had my eye on those two for a long time, but just didn't pull the trigger. Then the Urban Myth palette came out, and I nearly did it at that point, and I watched lots of reviews first, but I don't know whether there was other things coming out at the same time or what made me not do it, but I just didn't do it in the end, but I still want that one. But one of the things that really attracts me to the brand are their lip products. I really want to try their liquid lipsticks. They've got lots of metallic lipsticks, which I adore metallic lipsticks. I know that's an unpopular opinion with a lot of people, but I love them. They've also got an autumn trio that's got the colour cider in it, and I've always wanted to own that lipstick because, again, it's unusual and I haven't got anything like that in my collection. And I just recently bought out a bundle called the Sinister Satin Lips, and they're bullet lipsticks, but again in unusual colours. So I feel like if I make an order from Black Moon, it'll probably be a large bulk order, and I think I might do that at some point next year, but probably need to save up for that little bundle because it's going to be a lot that I'll buy at one time. Next up, we've got a brand that Annette raves about, and a lot of people that I follow rave about, and that's Glamlight. I hear that they have an amazing formula, particularly in the shimmers, and I want to experience that. The one thing that puts me off really is the foodie theme. I'm like, do I want a squishy burger palette, or trying to think what else they've had, donut palettes, like anything that's got this sort of padded kind of big packaging. I am a packaging person and I love my packaging, but I don't know, something kind of squidgy and massive, or a pizza palette, or any savoury kind of food palette. It just really doesn't, like, I don't know, it doesn't appeal. But the cake palette I could get on board with. Don't know why there's a difference between sweet and savoury, but the cake palette you can take out of like the cake oven packaging that it comes in, and it's just pretty much of a flat square kind of palette, and it's a rainbow palette, which I know I don't need, but the colours look absolutely stunning. So if I was to buy from Glamlight, that would be the one, I think, and I probably will do that next year. Okay, moving on, another one that Annette talks about all the time, and also Betty Jean Beam raves about as well, is Musee Beauty. And I think they've got such a cool aesthetic. They've got this like artist kind of aesthetic, and their palettes were the Impressionism and the Van Gogh, and I would like to own both of those. The Van Gogh is the new one with all the grungy tones in it. As I said before, I love green eyeshadow, and I like quite small curated palettes like that. That's a 9-pan and it looks gorgeous. And the Impressionism is meant to have some really nice metallics in there. I'm always looking for incredible metallic shimmer shades, so they're on my radar. The reason I didn't try them in 2020 is they didn't used to ship to the UK, but having checked them recently, they do now. So that was the only thing really stopping me. So I think that's going to be a certainty for 2021 for me. Okay, next up, Midas Cosmetics. Now, they've been on my radar since the Smoky Glow collab, because I love like deep pinks, reds, oranges, those kind of tones, and that palette that Smoky Glow, or Hannah, who's an influencer, brought out with Midas Cosmetics is full of those. And I know the metallics are amazing in that palette. I've seen lots of people using it, you know, in reviews, and I'd really like to own that one. And there's two others that are attractive to me in their line as well. I'd love to own the Lemonade because I don't have a monochromatic yellow palette, and I'd just love to own their one. I did look at the Colourpop yellow one, the Honey, but I think the Lemonade has the edge in terms of the tones of yellow that are in there for me, and there's no pressed glitter, which is another bonus for me. So that's been on my radar for a while. And they've just brought, again, a new green palette out, which is the Artistry Volume 2. And again, I would love to try that because I like small curated palettes, and that's a £6. So there's lots in their line that I'm interested in. Almost pulled the trigger on the face palettes, and they had face palettes for every skin tone. So I think there was 4 different face palettes, but so that you're not buying a bunch of colours in a palette that don't necessarily suit your skin tone, which is always something off-putting about a face palette to me. So I almost did it then, but I'm such an eyeshadow girl, so if I was to buy anything from them, I think it would be one of the 3 palettes that I've mentioned. Okay, steering away from eyeshadow though, and to a British brand, I was so tempted this year to buy a Lisa Eldridge lipstick set. These True Velvet lipsticks just sound gorgeous to me. Just if you read the write-up about what the lipsticks are about, that kind of velvet finish to them, they sound gorgeous. I love a bullet lipstick and I love red lipstick. So the True Velvet collection that's in a makeup bag that's kind of a burgundy colour, that one I've had in my basket and taken out a few times. It's just budgeting and trying to decide what could I buy at Black Friday. But it's got Velvet Jazz, Velvet Morning and Velvet Ribbon in that set, and they just all look beautiful. I'm not so much of a nude lipstick girl, so it's going to be, if I choose any, it will be more in the reds or orange tones, but would really like to try her lipsticks. I like the look of the packaging and how luxe they are, and I hear nothing but good reviews on those lipsticks. So I know they only come out once a year and they are still available at the moment, so if I want to do it, it's probably got to be the beginning of the year, otherwise I'm going to be waiting until she releases again, probably November of 2021. Next up is another brand that are focusing on lipsticks right now that I'd love to try, and that's Proper Beauty. Now, the only reason I've not tried Proper Beauty, because their lipsticks are supposed to be incredible, is that most of them, or all of them at the moment, are neutral or kind of maybe orange leaning. I almost bought one of the orange ones, but they're predominantly nude, neutral kind of lipsticks. And at the time they came out, I'd bought the Lethal Cosmetics nude bundle. So I was pretty much covered because, as I've said, nude lipsticks aren't really my natural home. So decided not to go for those. But if they were to bring out a reds bundle, a bit like Juvia's Place are doing right now, or a berries bundle, then I'd be all over that. I really do want to try them. I think the packaging looks nice, the price is right for what they are, and as I say, I just love supporting indie brands anyway. Just really curious about what their formula's like. So yeah, definitely want to try Proper Beauty, but the product that they bring out's got to be the right one for me to be tempted, if that makes sense. So definitely if there's a red berries or red and berries together in a bundle, I'll be all over that. Okay, luxury brand coming up right now. So I've always wanted to try Charlotte Tilbury. Now, it's a bit of a funny brand for me to want to try because it's quite a neutral, nudie kind of aesthetic, I suppose. And so they weren't really so much on my radar until they brought out the Walk of No Shame colourway, which is like a deeper version of the iconic Pillow Talk colour. And there's a bundle called Chic to Cheek. In the Walk of No Shame colourway, you've got a blush, a lipstick, a lip liner. Can't remember what else is in. There's 4 things in that bundle. I'll pop a picture up on the screen so you can see. But I really love blush. Blush is one of my favourite things in makeup, and I've really gotten more into blush this year than ever. That colour looks gorgeous. And then, as I say, I love those sort of deeper lipsticks that are not your sort of nude lipsticks. So anything with a bit more colour to it, more burgundy to it, really is attractive to me. I'm just really curious what her formula is like as well. So So yeah, they're on my radar for sure, and I probably will try in 2021. The next one is kind of a regret for me. So I wanted to buy the Terra Moon's El Barrio palette so badly. Had it in my cart, it was a pre-order, and it was just the shipping and customs that stopped me. But I've regretted my life decision ever since. I've watched everybody else's videos when they got theirs, or the people that got them in PR, and they look so pigmented and so beautiful. The colour story was gorgeous, the packaging's amazing. It ticks all of those boxes for me. And I'm not somebody that collects single shadows, so brands like Terra Moon's and Cleo and Divina, I'd love to try their shadows, but I'm not somebody that will buy single shadows and create my own palette. I just know myself, I know I wouldn't use them. And also it's quite expensive to buy single shadows and to put together your own kind of full palette, particularly, as I say, if I'm ordering in from another country. But that created kind of colour story that was so beautiful, and again it had reds and oranges in there, it just looks so nice. I just wish I'd bought it, really do. And it's out of stock now, but I think if it does come back, probably will bite the bullet in 2021 and get that one. And I'm interested to see what else they might do, and whether they're going to be expanding into palettes more so, because then I'll definitely have a lot more interest in the brand. And last but not least is another luxury brand, and that's Natasha Denona. I hear nothing but good about Natasha Denona, especially the eyeshadows. A lot of the eyeshadow palettes are a bit too neutral for me, really, and that kind of stops me. Like there was the Rust palette, and there was like a soft glam kind of grey toned palette. I can't remember the name of, and then there was the Trio Chrome palette, which I thought was a bit too muted for me. But the two that I really want, one is a neutral palette, and that's the gold palette. I just love the look of those golds in there mixed with the deep blues that are in that palette. And I know there's lots of neutral tones, but those metallic golds just look stunning. But really, I think if I was to narrow it down to one, it would have to be the Metropolis palette, because that's going to have her formula, but with pops of colour, and it'll be a lot more of a Debbie kind of colour story, I think. And I would just really love to try the brand again. It's the cost of buying it. And I think this year in 2020 I tried Pat McGrath. I think maybe next year in 2021 it's the time to try Natasha Denona, and maybe compare the two and think whether, you know, I like one more than the other. As a YouTuber, it'd be nice to be able to have that comparison and know what I'm talking about when people ask me, you know, is this better or that better? So really like to try her formula, and that would be the palette that would make me do it. So this has been super fun. I can't wait to see what Annette says, because for Annette, she tries so much makeup, and she's got a lot of the indie brands that I would want to try. I mean, I've stopped my list at kind of 10 brands because I could talk about the brands I don't own forever. There's so many more that she's tried that I haven't. So I can't think of many brands that Annette hasn't tried that she's going to have on her list. So as soon as that video goes up, I'm going to be watching that for sure. And if you've not checked out Annette's channel, please go and do so. And I'm sure you're going to love her. As I say, I'll leave everything you need down in my description box. The link to the video that we've done together now, links to previous collabs that we've done, and also the link to her channel. Because if you love colourful makeup, or really any type of makeup, indie makeup, mainstream, and as I say, with a focus on colourful makeup and creativity, I just know you're going to love Annette's channel. If you've come from Annette's channel, hi, welcome. I'm Debbie, as I said in the intro. I'm 52 and I don't think that matters one bit. I'll wear whatever makeup I want on my face, and I encourage other people to do the same. It washes off at the end of the day, and I'm very experimental with the makeup that I wear. My channel's not so much a review channel like Annette's. I do some reviews, but it's not really the focus quite so much. For me, I'm a collector of makeup, and I have been for years, so I've got lots of limited edition things. I don't buy things specifically because they're going to be good for my channel or grow my channel, probably to my detriment, but I buy the things that I love, and that speak to my heart. And then I try to create inspiring looks with those and basically show that whether you're 20 or whether you're 80, it really doesn't matter. You can express yourself with makeup, be creative with it and have fun with it. So I'd love it if you would consider subscribing before you go. But thank you so much for popping over and watching my video in any case. And I just hope you're having a lovely day or night wherever you are, guys. Maybe catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.